So today we're going to be doing an overview of my customs. There's a lot. Let's start. First up, Hector. He's a really nice one. I gave him the look of his eyes being closed to show, but he's a bold engine or truck. Michael is a rude and arrogant brake man who thinks that he's better than everybody. Also, I made it to where his face is over here, so when the engine or truck is pulling him, his face is backwards. Next up is my custom breakdown train, the crane part though. I have the flat already. So this is the only part I need. I can't believe it. He also has a little face currently coming off. First up, then we have this. This is the brake coach to another custom. And here's also the front coach. They have luxury coaches for this guy. This is a big city engine. He's made out of a hero with some clay modification eye patch on his face. And he's painted green with custom lining. The same was done to his tender, but he also has some clay attachments on the roof. And then same for the hero. The coaches take inspiration from Samson's coaches from the Brave Locomotive, which is a hint to a remake I will be doing of that. Big City Engine or Richard and his coaches can go. Speaking of the Brave Locomotive, here we have Linus. Or Linus, as some people call him. I don't know why. Yeah, Linus is a much harder character to make. You can see it has different colored clay. Sorry for the camera falling. All over him. Because I don't have I didn't have enough of the same blue. So it made it pretty complicated to get him all right. Even then, things still went wrong. His whistle was held in with white. But he looks pretty good. His front wheel can move. It's not the most accurate thing, but it's the best I could make with Thomas Wayne Railway. Next up, we have these two. They're two coaches that help out with a character named Lainey. She's a hunter who is seeking revenge on Sodor. And with her, we also have Joan. I won't say much about Joan. I also spoiled the upcoming film. But Joan is a character who helps out, who is a part of the team. So is these two. Who just go by 1 and 2. Who just go by 1 and 2. Or as the other engines call them, E1 and E2. Linda also is in this group. finally gave her that name on the bottom that she needed. And that's all of Greeny's group. Alright, next up we got a pretty known character if you watch my channel. Casey Jr. Sorry. Casey Jr. That's him. Casey Jr.'s gone through not that much actually. Just besides some repaints, some lining on the tender. And that's kind of it. Still kind of as a custom though, because, you know. Next up, we have a good truck, Mike. He also has a name on the bottom. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He was made out of a recycling truck. I do hope they get another one so I can make that wreck. Next up, you have Speed. Speed is a little character inspired by one of my friend's Sonic OCs. Yeah, he can couple up the hangers on the front. Most of the time, he just pulls fast freight trains, or at times passenger trains. Alright, next up, we got a custom that is different from my style. This is Boxy. He's had an entire repaint and redesign. He's not made out of a Phillip anymore. He's a tiny cardboard box put on a lady chassis. Yeah, I had to forcefully pry off my second lady's chassis. But hey, he fits, and I do hope to make more that can be attached when needed. So Boxy is kind of like a one of a kind. Not really, because next up we have this flatbed. It's just a flatbed using the Phillip magnets. The wheels don't turn that well. That's okay though. Next up we have two that I'm really happy that I redid. My Express coaches redone. Big City Engines coaches are actually my original Express coaches, but they were repainted entirely. These are two of the Arborium coaches, not the ones from the 3-pack. These came from the pack of unpainted wooden trains that you could paint. The one that came with the big diesel engine in those, I got 2 of those for Christmas, so that's how the Express coaches exist. And I don't know what went into them. I just painted green first, then I did a yellow, and then I did the windows when everything was dry and the doors, which I'm really proud of the doors. I gave a little tail lamp on the back. On this one I said it's supposed to say no crew, although it was really tiny, so it was hard for me to write. Next up we have a favorite of mine, Dread. The only thing that happened in Dread recently was a new face. Over there. Next up, we got a custom big engine that took a lot of effort. Henry. If you don't know, I never used Henry in my series much because the only Henry I had was a Trackmaster Henry at the time of making most of it. But I now have a Henry. It was made out of a 2003 Henry front with a tender, and then this generic wooden train that was originally Tracy, but since Tracy is not in the series no more, I put a bunch of blue tape around her and then painted it the same color as Henry with black lining and a 3. And I hope to redo it in a much lighter green, like Boxy. On there. And we're down to our last 2. We're about to hit a 10-minute mark. Giggle and Gangle. This one is Giggle. He was just one of the Giggle and Troublesome trucks repainted with his top being purple now. And then Gangle is the other one. with a black load instead of the regular gray. And that's it. That's the whole list of customs that I've made up to now this year. I do hope to make more customs this year, as